Hey guys, it's Steph here, and today I wanted to cover some of the largest news or biggest changes we've probably ever seen in Ark Survival Evolved, that being the flyer nerf. And this actually came out on PC, I want to say 2 days ago now, that being patch 256. And the flyers took a very large hit, so I just want to get you through the change log, and then I will talk about my opinions and talk about a few things that the devs might have not thought about. So first off, uh, the stamina across the board will be decreased by 50%, not including the moth, which really doesn't matter. And per level stamina increase will actually be in effect for level ups, which is good, but still taking away 50% of your stam is a huge deal. But you will also have increased stamina recovery for flyers. And also, you will not be able to regain your SAM on a Quetz platform if you're like hovering, if you know what I mean, if you're just floating up towards the world ceiling and that type of stuff. So, next is the biggest hit, I think, but actually, probably a really good one, just because the Terras were way too fast and kind of unrealistic to have that, and with the Quetzal being super fast, it's just crazy. But there will actually be no speed upgrades to your flyers. And the points that you actually have put into your flyers, like I know Terras, you're probably at 200 or above. And these points will actually be refunded, so you're probably going to want to put them in that stam or actually the reduced health. And along with the reduced health, you will also have reduced weight on birds and that type of stuff, which is good. It kind of made sense. Why could your Terra carry you when it's just a little tiny bird? But that's beyond me. And also the riding speed of the actual base like stats for flyers is going to be reduced by 10% to 30%, which is even more of a hit. But one thing that I really don't want to happen is the Wyrens actually becoming the real king of the sky. But in this update, with the reduced stam and also them having an increased Wyren elemental stamina cost, so your fire, your lightning, and your poison balls, that will actually keep them from just spamming and doing all that sort of stuff, which should help the game out a bit and just keep it more even with that, because I've seen videos and literally people shoot twice with their elemental thing and run out of stam, which is just crazy. And also, you will have decreased Quetz HP level ups, which totally makes sense. Why should your Quetz have 40k health and be a warbird when it's not even an aggressive tame in the wild or anything like that? It runs from you, it doesn't even attack back, which is just crazy. And there will also be an added 3-second cooldown to Terra barrel rolls, which is kind of a weird one, but I think a good one too, with Terras being able to just barrel in and pretty much bypass turrets and that type of stuff. So one thing I just wanted to cover, which is kind of up in the air and I don't really know where it's going to go from this, is actually how you're going to go get Wyren milk and Wyren eggs with 135 speed Terra or 100 speed RG on Scorch. Like, that's just crazy to me how we're going to do that. So is it really going to be that Wyrens are going to be king? Because the only way I can see you getting eggs or milk is to take your Wyren in, find one that has the same element type as you, grabbing the egg and then just letting it hit you and killing the dragon that's following you. I just can't. Unless we gotta come up with some creative ways, but hopefully they'll address that and maybe make Wyrens even slower than Terras or RGs, which wouldn't really make sense, but who knows with that. Anyways, there is a lot of unanswered questions with this update and what's actually going to happen with it. I like the whole speed decrease. It makes sense. It allows land dinos to be more effective, but even then I feel like they need to have a way that you can't get picked off your land dinos, because they just don't work, honestly, in raids, just because you'll get picked and dropped and then your tame is just a sitting duck. And even if you are to encumber yourself on your land tame, even when you get picked, you're dismounted from that tame actually, and usually you'll end up getting killed by somebody. And then say you have a rock elemental, it's just a sitting duck with somebody shooting rockets, and then that tame that probably took you forever if you had the mantis kibble, not forever, but you also would have had to go out and get all those mantises and that type of stuff. So that time investment's just lost. But anyways, I know there is a huge change, a lot to actually take in. But anyways, if you do go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like. If you have any suggestions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. And I guess if you're new, definitely subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.